Welcome to this brief ADA training focused on reassignment as a reasonable accommodation. Let's walk through what reassignment really means, when it applies, and how we collaboratively navigate the process. Under the Americans with Disabilities Act, employees with a qualifying condition may request accommodations by notifying their supervisor or Human Resources Leaves and Accessibility. These requests often arise during or after an extended leave or when a qualifying condition becomes permanent. Employees complete an ADA packet along with their provider's input. Human Resources Leaves and Accessibility then meets with them to determine their needs, explore accommodation options, including modifying their current role to suit both their and their department's needs. When no accommodations are available that allow the employee to perform the essential functions of their current role, reassignment becomes the final step in the ADA accommodation process. This typically applies when, even with modifications, adjustments, or accommodations, the employee is unable to perform the core duties of their position. The process is collaborative and begins with Human Resources partnering with the employee and the department to identify suitable roles within the home department or searching citywide if needed to locate a suitable, funded, and vacant position. It is important to acknowledge this is not a termination, but a transition that supports ongoing employment. It is also important that a successful ADA accommodation or reassignment is identified within 1 year of the employee being outside of their essential functions. HR Leaves and Accessibility encourages that the process begin at the 6-month mark to ensure suitable time for reassignment should it need to occur. Reassignment is considered when no reasonable accommodation is available to enable success within the current position. This means placing the employee into a vacant, funded, and approved position for which they meet the minimum qualifications. The reassignment must be of a lateral or lesser pay grade. It will not involve the creation of a new role, and it will never require an employee to apply for or compete in a competitive hiring process. Throughout the reassignment process, collaboration and communication are key. Human Resources' responsibility is to partner with the employee during this entire process. It's not just about finding any job, it's about identifying roles that match the employee's skills and qualifications so that they may continue to serve the city, ensuring long-term success. Human Resources partners with the employee to explain how reassignment searches are conducted. We use 2 primary tools: the city's public-facing site, Tucson Talent, and the internal Jobs Hub, located in Workday. We will walk through both to know exactly where to look. To begin, navigate to Tucson Talent or simply search City of Tucson Jobs to locate the Tucson Talent website. Let's walk through an example. Search through listings until you see one that you may feel suit your qualifications. Let's check out the Business Analyst one. To begin, look for the section titled Minimum Qualifications to see what's required for the role. We're looking for things like education, any certifications, and directly related experience. Scroll to the compensation grade next, listed under the Position Details section. This information begins with the letter G followed by a 3-digit number. Remember, reassignment positions must be at or below the employee's current grade, so you'll want to ensure the compensation grade is either equal to or lesser than the current grade of the position the employee currently holds. Employees should review postings carefully and evaluate whether their resume clearly demonstrates that they meet these qualifications. Human Resources can also review the resume to ensure the qualifications of the employee clearly align with the position they are seeking for reassignment. The second option is to navigate from Duo to Workday and click Jobs Hub. Let's see how that works and what options are available inside that helpful tool. There are so many helpful tools inside Jobs Hub to help you assist in a search for reassignment. Once you have arrived at your Workday homepage, you may have 2 options to access Jobs Hub. Click on the 3 lines for the menu, which opens up the menu shown on the left. Jobs Hub is highlighted. If you frequently visit Jobs Hub, it will be listed on the right under your top apps. Click on whatever option presents for you to enter into Jobs Hub. The most recently added jobs will appear as shown below. You may then scroll through the most recently posted jobs by clicking on the arrows highlighted. You may also use the hourglass option directly under where we just were located to browse all jobs in Workday. You may even filter the jobs by entering in specific parameters to what you may be looking for, such as a category, a location, a job profile even, say specific to an administrative assistant, for example. Finally, saving one of the best tools for last, creating a job alert. Workday allows you to create a job alert. Employees can do this by selecting the very next menu option from where we were just visiting and select the highlighted option for Manage Job Alerts. A window titled Create Job Alerts will appear. This is where the employee may enter any relevant information pertaining to a job they would like alerts for when one is posted. This can be most helpful for searching a reassignment position. Once an employee identifies a position they believe fits their skills and qualifications, they should not apply through the regular job portal. Competitive applications are not required under ADA reassignment. Instead, the employee should contact the HR Leaves and Accessibility team to express interest in the position. HR Leaves and Accessibility will then reach out to the Human Resources Director's office to evaluate potential suitability for reassignment. After the internal steps are completed, the Leaves and Accessibility team will follow up with the employee to share whether the position has been approved as part of the reassignment process. If so, the reassignment will be documented on a record of accommodation. This process ensures a coordinated, supportive, and transparent experience for all involved. Here is an example of a permanent record of accommodation. This one is blank. We would outline the limitations, initial accommodations requested by the employee, the date that the final agreed upon accommodations are offered, and the final agreed upon accommodations to include any terms outlined by Human Resources and the department. These are standard and include check-in points, details about the employee's work schedule, and other pertinent details. If the record of accommodation is recording any reassignment, the details would be listed, such as what the position was, what it will be, the pay rate changes, and probation periods listed. Remember, reassignment may take time. While there is no fixed deadline for the ADA interactive process, efforts typically occur within 1 year of determining the employee cannot perform essential functions. Our shared goal is to support employees in remaining successfully employed. For those navigating this process, here are some helpful resources. The Leaves and Accessibility team is your first stop for questions, support, and coordination of ADA accommodations and reassignment efforts. You can find our team information and helpful resources by navigating to one team. When arriving at the landing page, click on Human Resources. Then on the next page, click on Leaves and Accessibility. Here, you are directed to the Leaves and Accessibility's landing page, which holds our request forms and a sitemap for answers to your questions. Each page leads to more information, so please browse at your leisure and always feel free to reach out to us with any questions. We can be reached at employeeleaves@tucsonaz.gov or at our phone number 520-791-2619. You can also use the multitude of other City of Tucson resources, from Tucson Talent to internal policies, administrative directives, and the Leaves and Accessibility One Team page. There are numerous tools available to help employees explore opportunities and prepare for a smooth transition. Listed below, AskJan.org is a confidential free service that provides expert guidance on workplace accommodations under the ADA. The Job Accommodation Network is especially helpful for understanding best practices and creative solutions. EEOC.gov is the U.S. Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, and they offer clear overviews of reassignment rights. And ADA.gov has helpful resources for all things ADA related. Remember, reassignment is a collaborative process, not a competitive one. It's about HR helping to match employee skills to vacant roles in a way that preserves employment with dignity. Please reach out to HR Employee Leaves with any questions, and thank you for completing this training.